Hey guys, J.R. Raymond here, back again at the training center at TurboTech in Chesterfield, Michigan. I got one tip that I guarantee will improve your score in bowling. Stay tuned. I'll bet there's a ton of people out there who hate shooting at that pin. And I bet there's a ton of lefties that hate shooting at the pin on the exact other side of that pin. I bet you do this an awful lot. You miss it right, you miss it left. But how do we make that spare more consistently? And better yet, how do we make every spare more consistently? Let's take a look. Most people don't understand how much room for error you truly have shooting a spare. Look here. I got a standard size pin, and you have an entire ball's length from one side to the other to be able to hit that single pin and knock it over. That's almost half the lane. In fact, that is half the lane that you have to try and hit a single pin spare. So why is it so hard to knock down a pin this small with a bowling ball that's twice as wide, and you get two bowling ball lengths to do it? It's really a complicated thing. I'm lying, it's really not. It's actually pretty simple. So let's take a look and see what we can do to create some angles to shoot a 10 pin properly. So I have this, what we call a torch from Kegel, lined up. You can see it's covering the 10 pin. So anywhere I stand, if I move over here, it doesn't matter. It's pretty much going to go in that direction towards the 10 pin. So I can create whatever angle I want to make that spare from any part of the lane. Okay, you have that much room. What you want to do is you want to create angle from over here. If you're looking at that line, you can see that now I have basically the entire lane. If I miss left, it's still going to clip it. If I miss right, it's probably still going to hit it, because I have all that room to the right to be able to hit the spare. Now, if I shoot the spare going straighter up the lane, look how much of the lane it takes away from me. Now I don't have that lane, and if my ball decides to hook a little bit, it's going to hook past it. And if I go too steep, now I take away the lane to the left. I don't have any lane to the left because the ball's going to hook past it, and I have too much to the right. So I could very easily miss this spare. So what we want to do is we want to create angles in the middle part of the lane to try to hit that 10 pin. All right, so we can see the line from the torch going straight from the 10 pin all the way back through 23 or 24 at the arrows. So the idea is to hit that target and watch the ball go straight at the 10 pin. And it gives us a little bit of room left to right. You saw we have half the whole lane to make that spare. So if we line up properly, we have plenty of room to make the spare. Let's see if we can do it. Perfect. So we can see that the ball goes at a straight angle from point A to point B. The whole object of shooting spares is to get the ball to go from point A to point B with very little motion. All right, so now we want to shoot at a 7 pin. As you can see, I have it lined back up. It's another straight line from about 21, 22, straight across. And I'm at the middle of the lane. We want to cut the lane in half. Again, we want room to the left and we want room to the right. If we go straight up the lane over here, we take away our room to the left, right? So now if we move to the right, we take away our room to the left because that ball's going to hook into the gutter. So we want to give ourselves as much room as possible. So if we stand in the middle of the approach and shooting our 7 pins, we've got a whole lot more room for error. Let's give it a try. All right, so we can see that straight line going straight to the 7 pin. So I'm going to make a shot, try to follow that line, go straight line from point A to point B, make the spare, and I'm going to try to get out of the way so you can see it as quick as possible. So I may have been missed a little bit right, but that's the beauty of straight angles. Now you could see it went straight up the lane and it went right in toward the 7 pin. So I didn't hook it, I didn't do anything crazy. But now, how do we make something like a 4 pin or a 6 pin or an 8 pin or a 9 pin? We have the ability to make those corner pins. Now we need to, what's the adjustment to make the others? So now we're going to shoot a 4 pin. And the rule of 7 states that for every board we move our feet, the ball's going to travel the opposite direction 2 boards further. So if I move my feet 1 board to the left, the ball's going to hit 2 boards further right than where it did before. So for me, what I usually do is if I'm shooting a 7-pin, I stand in that spot you just saw. And then if I'm shooting a 4-pin, I'm just going to move my feet 2 to the left and look at the same target. And so now we have a cluster in the middle. Let's see how we're going to shoot this. So you have stuff in the middle. You don't have anything to the left. You don't have anything to the right. So what's going to happen? So what I always do is I look at the angle of the multi-pin spare. So like if there's a 3-6-10 standing, you would want to obviously go left or right because you want to hit the front pin first. So for me on this, the head pin is in front of the 3-pin and the 3-pin's to the right. So we want the ball to go traveling left to right to make this spare. So we're gonna stand, I want to use as much of the lane as possible. So I'm gonna stand to the left as if I'm shooting a 10-pin. And I'm gonna look 5 left of where I would for shooting my 10-pin. That makes 10 boards difference. So now if the ball hooks just a little bit, you have room for error and it's not gonna chop it because you have that angle going left to right. Now, if you're going right to left at that and the ball hooks a little bit, you're more likely to chop that spare. All right, so some key points for today. Straight angles is your friend. If I have a person come in for a lesson, my first thing is, do you have a plastic ball? Because plastic balls create the straightest angles you can get. They don't hook, they don't see the friction as much as other bowling balls. Of course, we have the traditionalists that are gonna say, hogwash, you should be able to use 1 ball and just flatten your hand out. Sure, that's great. If you can do that, do it. But again, nothing changes. You're still trying to create straight angles. If there's kids out there, if you're out there hooking at spares, your percentage will be lower when you get on a tougher pattern because you have less mistake room hooking at spares out there. So if you're ever gonna go bowl on a tougher pattern, make sure you create straight angles and you're playing straight at your spares rather than trying to hook at them. If you're in league, you wanna hook at them, fine, but I suggest trying to get better and shooting all your spares a little bit straighter. So until next time, guys, if you have questions, let me know, hit me up in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to this page and even go take a look at Turbo 2-in-1 Grip's YouTube page theirself. We actually post videos on that page as well, more so about products and about our PBA staff and just some special features and stuff like that we have. So go visit that, subscribe to their channel as well as this one, and we will see you guys next time.